everyone, welcome to this little video introduction to NotebookLM, which is an AI that I think is actually very helpful for learning, for studying. And I've noticed this year that a lot of students will take their review sheet and they'll just ask ChatGPT for answers, and ChatGPT will give answers that are correct, but not answers that we've discussed in class, and so it's not actually helpful for getting good marks on a test. So I think NotebookLM will be more helpful. And it's a little bit of a process, but you can use it then for maybe all your courses. And it just gives you some more options than ChatGPT. Okay, so Science 9, let's see, here's the unit we were working on, Unit 2, Meiosis. And so these three here, these were the notes. Here's the review sheet. And I'm just going to go to the notes, Meiosis. Okay, there's this set of notes, and what I want to do is I want to turn these slides into PDFs. Okay, and that sounds a little bit complicated, but it's not that bad. I'll show you. Okay, so File, Download, whoop, PDF, bam. And so it's going to download this as a PDF, and on my computer it shows up right here. That's in my downloads. Okay, next one, meiosis and sexual reproduction. So this is the notes sheet that you got in class and you filled out. These are the slides. So I want to go to the slides, and same thing, File, boom, Download, PDF. And whoop, up there. Sweet, this is working. What a day. Next one, flowers and sexual reproduction. Here are the slides. Clickety, clickety, click. File, download, PDF. And so if you've got other courses that have slides on the Googs, then bam, you can turn them into PDFs, and we can go to NotebookLM like this. I open a new tab, click, NotebookLM, there it is. Okay, try NotebookLM. Why don't we do that? Let's go try NotebookLM. Okay, create new notebook. Let's do that. Now it says upload sources. So Notebook is asking us to put in the resources that we want to use for studying. Okay, and so I'm going to click on this. And then what I want to go to is my downloads, because that's where those resources went. Okay, so I don't know, your computer might look different, but here I'm just going downloads, and there they are. Okay, so I can even just go like this. I'm going to click on that one, and then I'm going to hold down Control, click on that one, and hold down Control still, and click on that one. Okay, so they are being uploaded. We first downloaded, now they're being uploaded to NotebookLM. Okay. Now, so NotebookLM has got those, and it's giving us a few different options. Okay, we can create flashcards, for example. Maybe that's helpful for studying. So generating flashcards based on these three sources, right? So if you're the type of person that likes to study by using flashcards, then NotebookLM will create these for you. Or maybe an infographic or a mind map, or even a podcast. It'll make you a podcast or a quiz. Okay. So there's the flashcards. I can open that up. Click on that, biology flashcards. So to use it, here it is. I'm going to go to expand in the viewer. Boom. What is the entire male reproductive structure of a flower called? Oh, I could see the answer, but do I know the answer? I think it's the stamen. Woohoo! I'm passing Science 9. The stamen is composed of which two parts? Oh, I think that's the anther and the filament. What a day, what a day. Which part of the stamen produces sperm inside pollen grains? Oh, that's the anther. Okay. Yeah, and it gives lots of those. So that's helpful for studying. What else? Maybe a mind map. Click on that. Now it's generating a mind map, and we'll see what it comes up with. So it takes a tiny bit of time, but let's take a look. And there it is. So here's my mind map. I'm going to click on that. Okay, so I can move it around by clicking, holding, and moving. Sexual reproduction and meiosis. Sexual reproduction overview. Ooh, we've got a definition. Gametes, fertilization, development. So, definition. Combines DNA from two gametes, produces offspring. Okay, gametes. Let's see. Produced by meiosis, carry one copy of each chromosome. Types. Sperm for males, eggs for females. Okay. Yeah. Development, fertilization. Or maybe I want to focus on plant reproduction. Flowering plants. Let's see. Anatomy of a typical flower. Yeah, I need to know that. Non-reproductive parts. Petal, sepal, pedicel, receptacle. Okay, that was in that diagram. Male anatomy. Stamen. Anther was... It produces sperm inside pollen grains. So this might be helpful for you, or perhaps I'm going to put this to get out of the mind map. Maybe I want to make a quiz. Okay, so it's again looking at these three sources, and it's generating a quiz. Okay, so that took about, I don't know, 1.5 minutes to produce a quiz. So let's click on it, and I want to make this larger. Okay, in a flowering plant, which structure is specifically responsible for producing the male gametes that are housed within pollen grains? Is it the ovary, the stigma, the petal? It's the anther. Oh, I think. Let me see a hint. This structure is part of the stamen, the male reproductive organ. It's got to be the anther. Correct! That's right! Okay, next. After pollen successfully lands on a flower's stigma, it must grow a tube through which structure to reach the ovary for fertilization. That is the style. Correct. What is the primary method of pollination for conifers, such as pine trees? By animals eating fruit and dispersing seeds, by birds transferring pollen, by insects, by wind carrying pollen from male to female. Boom, correct. What a day. Yeah? So, there are other options. It can also generate a podcast based on these, where they talk about the lesson, and it might be 10 to 15 minutes long. But if you're an auditory learner, someone who learns by listening, then you can try that. So, and again, come back in a few minutes, and it'll take a bit to make, but it does it.
You know, if you just stop for a moment and look around at the world, the sheer, almost bewildering complexity of life. I mean, from the smallest wildflower to the largest animal, there's just this incredible variation.
There really is. But what's so fascinating is that underneath all of that difference, there's this one fundamental drive that connects everything.
The drive to reproduce.
The drive to mix its DNA and create new life. It's this universal contract.
And that's what we're going to get into today. This is our deep dive into sexual reproduction. We're going to start at the very beginning, the microscopic level.
Right, with the cellular choreography of meiosis.
Yeah.
How those specialized reproductive cells, the gametes, are even formed.
And then we're
So those are some of the options that you have. You can make some slides. You could make a video overview. I don't know how good that would be. And, you know, this is meant to be a tool. It could be helpful. It is, remember, it is AI, artificial intelligence. It's not UI, right? You've got your intelligence. And so you are trusting it. And so, for example, in the mind map, it went into some of the non-reproductive parts, the petals, the sepicles, and we did not, that was in a diagram in my notes, but it's not something we talked about. So you do have to still use critical thinking to assess, is this important? Do I need to know this? And you also have the notes on Google Classroom, which is maybe even simpler, right? But I do think it's perhaps a helpful tool. And then, you know, if I go back here, it saves that notebook for me. I can come back to it later. I can create a new notebook for a different course or for a new unit. It is, I think, rather helpful. So, I hope this has been helpful. You just keep using your intelligence that God has given you, and this is hopefully a helpful tool. Okay, thank you.